Welcome to yet another riveting edition of HR Manifesto's Mailbag, where I share with all of you all the tragic work realities that my followers send and share with me. So this is entitled Nightmare in Leadership Workplace Horror Story. Whew, that is catchy. I've got it up on my monitor right here. Let's jump in, shall we? Hey there. Just to cover my ass, I'll be changing details here and there, and I definitely want to stay anonymous. You got it. But this one is a doozy. I hope you're buckled in. Oh shit, I'm not. I am now. Let's do this thing. I used to work in retail for a few years. Within the company, I made great rapport with others and held a reputation for being one of the best folks on the floor. That's awesome. Good for you. At some point, changes had been made to leadership, store managers were shifted about, and I, along with several of my coworkers, were now under the direction of a new store manager. And this is where the nightmare begins. Under the new store manager, team meetings kept getting canceled, and when we had major events like sales or promotions, he'd assume we read the docket. Mind you, this was only something managers had access to, and he knew that. And we would still get in trouble for not following the sales or promotions, even though we weren't updated about them. Touch-base meetings were even worse. He would sit there on his phone the entire time or use the time to vent to us about his personal life. Messy AF. Me being me, I asked my old store manager, who was now at a different location, for printouts of the dockets weekly, since the new store manager wasn't informing us of anything. She suggested I go to corporate HR. I only declined because this new store manager was very new to the position, and I figured this could be a training opportunity for him, and that if this continues past 3 months, I'd raise the concern to the district manager. Whew, that was my mistake. 6 months later, I have no idea how I lasted that long. It was a shit show. I sustained an injury outside of the workplace and had to have accommodations made. Unfortunately, because American insurance is the worst, I couldn't get the proper care I needed in a timely manner, and accommodations kept getting added and drawn out. My store manager pulled me in for a touch base, which I was ecstatic about because I love getting feedback so I can be better. In the meeting, he asked how my leg was and if I was able to get my doctor to sign a disability form. I was so confused because this wasn't serious enough to fall under ADA law. He then proceeded to write down the information of a doctor who signed ADA forms under the table for like $50. He said he did the same thing when he first started. Oh, I was so shocked. My store manager just told me how to commit insurance fraud and that he had committed insurance fraud too. Like what? He was let go less than a week later, needless to say. Signed XOXO, and email signature quote, "When life hands you lemons, squeeze the lemon juice into life size." Or your store managers. I like saying when life hands you lemons, make lemonade and add some Tito's. That's vodka. What? What the fuck?